Every autumn, we have a series of birds that go through on their migratory flight southward. Some of the most impressive are our hawks and other raptors that fly through Connecticut's skies. Recently, we saw a massive wave of birds fly through on September 16th. It was a really interesting display. All of the right weather factors and the fact that we had so many birds in the area we saw over 2,600 birds in a matter of 3 or 4 hours. Yeah, 49 broadwings in that kettle. But throughout the southern New England area and northern New Jersey and southern New York, we saw as many as 5,000 or more birds in the course of an afternoon as well. So it was a really exciting display. But a little bit more about their migration. These are birds that breed in Connecticut and areas to the north, whether it be in Canada, Nova Scotia, Maine, so forth. And they fly through every autumn to go to wintering grounds where they spend the winter, feed, and these are where the juveniles then begin to grow and develop a little bit further. And then in the spring, they fly northward. Now, we here at White Memorial take the opportunity in the autumn in particular to count these birds. And there are lots of different stations throughout the United States and North America that people go out on a voluntary basis and count birds that are flying through. And these birds are utilizing two primary things while doing their flight, these long distance flights. The first thing is referred to as a thermal. And these are areas where the hot air starts to rise and create an area, an upwelling of hot air that the birds then ride up in a great big cycle. And it looks like a kettle is what it's referred to. And it looks like water boiling almost in a kettle. And then they come out to the very top of the thermal and they shoot southwesterly, for instance, and they gain altitude by doing these series of rises up on a kettle and then flying southwestward. These displays are actually quite spectacular. So anyways, back to what happened on September 16th. It was the right kind of conditions. We had this cold front moving through the area, and the birds started flying through at about 10 a.m. Now, as soon as the cold front started to push through, it opened up the sky. All the cloud cover started to move away, and all the birds just saw that opening in the cloud cover, and they just took off. And at about 10:30, we started noticing this system in the satellite imagery. So the system was pushing through. It was a cold front coming in from the northwest, and that's what that blue line is that signifies a cold front. Hadn't moved in yet, but it's about to. Behind that cold front, or with that cold front, comes this opening in the clouds, and so this opening is what these birds are actually keeping their eye on. That large circle is Torrington, Connecticut, where their counter had many birds there all at once. At 11 o'clock, we had over 1,000 birds seen in 1 hour. Then by 12 o'clock, there were so many birds piling through. You could see in the data on the map that it was just this sort of just a wave of birds flying through all at once. And by 1 o'clock, we started seeing another wave of clouds coming in from the northwest, but the birds still kept flying through. And then at about 2 o'clock, the clouds started settling in over top of Litchfield, and we decided to close down the count for the day because there really weren't any other birds being observed. But as you can see on this at this 2 o'clock slide, that there were many birds being observed down near New York City and going towards New Jersey. And by 3 o'clock, the New Jersey sites were observing the wave of birds that were utilizing this cold front that pushed through just in a matter of 3 or 4 short hours.